Welcome to the Interested and Interesting Person Project. Let's talk about stress. There is no doubt that reaching our required college-level writing class can be stressful. We may find ourselves in a class with a teacher that we don't exactly connect with. There may be assignments that we don't understand. We may feel that we've done all of this before. We might ask ourselves why we have to do this. We may ask ourselves, how did I get here? All of that can be undeniably stressful. Add to it that we might have a bad roommate, our family may have problems that we feel responsible for, we have a medical issue. Anything can happen. To arrive at our college-level writing class, we're going to have to take coping with stress somewhat seriously. There are many kinds of stress, and they lie on a spectrum from motivational to debilitating. We all know what debilitating stress is. It's the kind of stress that makes you want to climb under the covers and go to sleep. Interestingly, sometimes that's the best thing to do. And of course, motivational stress is what we feel when we have to finish something or things get worse. An example of motivational stress that I had recently was when I walked the Camino de Santiago, and I had to walk between 15 and 22 miles every day, or I didn't get to sleep. Interestingly, this was one of the most peaceful and beautiful experiences of my life, despite that I had never walked 15 miles in one stretch before, not to mention 22. And yet, it turned out to be excellent. So how did I hang in there? Well, motivational stress. I knew if I didn't make my destination that particular evening, I wasn't going to have a good night. In fact, I would have been lost like in a forest or some strange town, and so motivational stress, which, could have seemed debilitating, didn't. Getting through challenging college courses like the ones that lead to our required college-level writing class can be just like the Camino de Santiago. They can seem long and foreign and like there's too much work. But if we'll just pause and take care of ourselves, we can manage that stress. I realize that this video is a little bit different than the other ones in the Interested and Interesting Person Project. And that's because I'm taking stress very seriously. I'm not joking about it. I joke a lot, and perhaps joking is a way that I relieve stress, but other tools that help me relieve stress are taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, getting good exercise, getting good sleep. Now, each one of us comes to our journey of stress relief or dealing with it individually. What this video is intended to do is to put it on your radar. If things aren't going right in your writing class right now, take a moment to examine what are the stresses in your life and how can you find that motivation to turn what can seem like debilitating stress into motivational stress. Now, this is a vastly more complicated notion than I can get to in just a 5-minute video. But stress is definitely something that you should take seriously, Do more research about. There are thousands of videos on YouTube that do it better than I can. I'm a writing specialist, or hopefully, in some ways, a motivational specialist for you now. So take the time to take care of yourself. The Interested and Interesting Person Project is brought to you by Chris Risley. That's me.